Yo, guys, welcome to the Hot Wet Soup Podcast. I am your host, Bionic Pig, joined by Zaptai and Elvis the Alien. And on today's podcast, we have a wonderful man known as Vincent Sear.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
You are.
He's not. We need to address this before we go any further. Pig is not putting on a voice as much as it may sound.
Yeah,
well, he kind of is, but
I slightly did it.
But he's just incredibly sick. Well, everyone here, with the exception of Elvis, I believe, has caught cold. And Pig is just on the upswing from it, and when he upswings, his voice drops a full octave and a half, apparently.
I don't get it.
Pig, it's okay if you're overcompensating for your lack of masculinity.
Yeah, I put on this voice for my wife so she doesn't, so I feel like the man. All right.
I thought you were going to say so she doesn't leave me.
Yeah, that's what I thought
It's
too.
like,
She
holy
doesn't
shit.
leave me.
I desperately want you to make a video for your channel without face cam, but just using that voice.
What's up,
confuse the
you
hell out of people.
motherfuckers? It's your boy.
Yeah, bring back Trackmania, Pig.
Hell yeah.
It'll be perfect.
Oh my god.
Hashtag bring back
That'd be so
Trackmania,
good.
Pig. All right. Well, I mean, Sear's the man of the hour. So do we? Well, what are we going to talk about today, guys? What are we gonna do?
We can talk about the Great Depression of the 1930s.
Yeah.
Is that
Are you
not relevant
particularly
enough?
knowledge on that subject?
I
mean, it's not
I feel like it's a part of the
irrelevant.
trending topics, to be honest.
I guess so. But, we could talk about something more current.
What was your favorite year in the Great Depression, Vincent?
I would have to say 1936. I feel like that was the
We just lost all of our viewers.
No.
In the first,
Dude, this has turned
2
into a
minutes.
history lesson.
First
It works.
2 minutes, we just lost all of our viewers.
Welcome
is
to the
going
History
great.
Podcast
Thanks.
with your host, Bionic Pig Zaptai, and Vincent Sear, and Elvis Sear.
Today we're
Fuck
going to be
this.
talking about the Cold War.
Oh, God.
Well, let's move on to Sear, I guess. Let's ask him a few questions. Sear, he's done YouTube for a while, and he makes very good videos, very well shot videos as well. That's something you don't see that
My mom
very
shoots
often.
all of it for me. She dresses me and she shoots my videos for me and she edits them for me. So that's what you're saying.
Well, all credit goes to Sear's mom then, because those shots are just beautiful. Yeah, how many years of has she studied cinematography?
A long time. A very long time.
Just a long time.
The reason I got into making videos is because I loved cinematography. I watched Christopher Nolan's films, The Prestige, and I had seen Memento.
Oh yeah.
And I had just watched Batman Begin, which was
a
the
good
first
one.
Nolan film that I had seen, and I was like, I love the way that he tells stories. I love the way that he does flashbacks with voiceover from the characters and using that as a storytelling element.
You do that in a lot of your videos, and you do it very well with your you kind of do almost like an inner monologue kind of thing sometimes, or like a flashback kind of thing.
Yeah, it's my go-to. I'm afraid of doing it to the point of where I just become a parody of myself. But I love that aspect so much. I love dramatic music. I love voiceover, and I love it. I love it when everything that went on in a character's mind can be summed up in just like a phrase at the end of a movie, like at the end of American Psycho. Everything the character's been thinking throughout the whole movie, it's just all summed up in one paragraph, in conclusion. And I love that. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I loved American Psycho. In a weird way. You shouldn't love it because it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the cultiness
Yeah.
of it. It's a movie that breaks norms, especially for that time. If you know what I mean? It's just he'll look at a woman and be like, "You're I want to cut you and play around with your blood." And it's the kind of movie that my parents would be like, "That is why society is failing."
Oh
and it's a movie I see, and I'm like, "This is why art is this is what saves art."
Well, because it's particularly interesting because it's one of the few movies where you're watching and realize that the protagonist is the antagonist. He very much starts off as the protagonist, but as it keeps going, you're just like, holy shit, okay, this is definitely, or maybe not. Those aren't the right words. I think he stays the protagonist because I think that just means main character, but that the hero is the villain. Maybe is a better way to word it.
What other movies do that? I can't think of anything that do that.
There's a few with those like epic plot twists that I guess even mentioning them would be spoilers, but where it's like there's a character and it turns out they're actually the person they've been hunting the whole time and they created this alternate persona, that whole kind of thing. But it's one of the only movies that does it naturally.
A close example, I think, it happens in TV shows a lot, where a character will be relatively likable, like Breaking Bad, for example.
Oh yeah, that's a good example.
He was the protagonist, and he became the antagonist.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah.
Solid show.
Yeah, it's so weird because you end up really you like him in the beginning, and then as the show goes on, you kind of create
you kind of switch back and forth.
Yeah, you develop this disdain for him, sort of, because he changes as a person.
And without getting too deep, I think the reason why that was so touched with so many people is because we have people like that in our lives, or even in our community, where you have that person who's like they kind of cross the line a little bit, and you're like, oh, that was a little bit too much, and then they do it again, and they do it again, and then people start losing faith in that person, and then exactly, yeah. When people cross the line too many times, they become a radical version of themselves, and then they're just unlikable.
Yeah. Oh, dude! In your little song,
I knew Elvis is just gonna he's scratching this itch. Okay, I could feel it. Like you're shaking with excitement to talk about Onision.
Yeah.
No. There's this one part in your video that I really really liked was when you said, "I'm gonna make a diss track. Yeah, give the people what they like." And you were looking at the camera. I really liked that part for whatever reason. You're like, "Yeah, let's give the people what they want." Because that's awesome because you're kind of you're making your own little narrative, talking to yourself, but also talking to the community, as if it's you're mocking the community. Oh, you guys want this shitty drama, I'm going to give it to you, as kind of it was a weird little inside joke sort of thing.
Dude, I mean, it all comes within when anybody mentions that they're going to do a diss track on any YouTuber, you automatically see massive engagements, on a platform like Twitter or something. Everybody wants that, and you can't lie about that. It's people joke about doing something, so you're like, oh, could you imagine if I did an Onision diss track, and then everybody is like, oh fuck yeah. I mean, everybody starts stimulating that idea. And then you're you start believing it yourself, and you're like, well, maybe I'll give the people what they want. And then when it comes out, everybody wants to see it. And it's just because maybe it's drama oriented. That's the basis of why Rice Gum was so successful, because despite the fact that he might not necessarily be the most talented rapper, so to say, it's the foundation based off of drama.
Quote unquote.
People want to see what you have to say about somebody else on a platform.
That's incredibly true, because you can even think back to a broader scale in actual rap music, not the YouTube diss track scene, but the actual real diss track scene. I don't think I ever heard Drake's name more than when he did Back to Back aimed at Meek Mill. That song is one of the biggest songs from last year, because it was just so. It just came, first of all, it came out of nowhere. People didn't realize Drake actually had that in him, but everyone's just looking oh, well, okay, so this is probably some kind of fabricated beef. And then that song comes out and everyone's like, oh, okay, maybe it's not. Because it's so damning for Meek Mill. He had no response. And it's just holy shit, just seeing someone get, I guess, for lack of a better word, I think the term in this is bodied. To see someone get bodied the way that Meek Mill was is just fascinating. Exactly.
And what's funny is I don't even really listen to either of them, but even I ended up hearing both of those tracks because it's drama oriented, and that's the success behind it.
It's like the concept of being in high school and then you hear someone chanting fight over and over. You want to go see what's going on.
You gotta go see
you don't want to just that's not. It's you want to fucking see it. Don't lie.
Dude, people hate on mob mentality a lot, but it's super powerful. Oh yeah. If you got that on your side, you are gonna get huge on a platform like YouTube. Nick Cash, for example, he made that one video. He blew the fuck up. He got millions of views. And it wasn't even a well edited video. It was just him ranting in front of a camera. You know, it wasn't even a really good video. It was just the drama behind it, like what he was saying that people were interested in. So it's interesting.
That's exactly
that something like that is almost even more successful than talent, which is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily more successful. It's just more interesting. It's sad, but it's more interesting than actual talent. Like, because, you know, like, say if you don't watch that person, like say if you don't watch them because you don't find all their videos funny, or you just don't really care too much, and then something happens with that channel, it's like, oh, let's see what's going on with them. Yeah. Because, you know, something's going on. They're just like, oh, let's just watch this one video. That's just the kind of thing.
Yeah, the thing with drama is that it's very temporary. That's the fault. That's the thing that isn't very good about it, you know?
Yeah, someone's channel could blow up, and then if they stop doing it or do something else, and it's just going to fall down kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, unless you make quality videos. I mean, with iDubbbz's case, he makes quality videos and he puts in the drama. So it's like, you know, it's like a two-edged sword kind of thing.
Talent is a good foundation for long-term success, and drama is sort of a formula to little bursts of success. So if you can master the two, then that's a perfect combination. But it just the whole like even race baiting situation is proof that like talent doesn't necessarily equal success, and that's the sucky thing about it.
Right, and you mentioning iDubbbz is really accurate to I Hate Everything as well, because I wouldn't call it mob mentality because he was objectively in the right, but his Cool Cat video getting taken down is the reason that he currently has 1 million subscribers. Well,
and also his channel getting taken down.
Right, but that too. Yeah, that's the thing though. He's had that. He had the channel get taken down. He had the damn Daniel video get claimed or whatever. So he's had like these random spurts. But again, it's the same thing with iDubbbz. IHE's videos are incredibly well made. So he keeps those people that he gains rather than just them being there interested in the drama and fucking off. Well, I'm sure there's some of those. Like there's no doubt there's some people who only popped up for a half second to see him fight with Derek Savage and then left. But the fact that he's gone, I think he's gained 1 million subs in the last year. He was at about 200,000. When the whole Cool Cat thing happened. And for that huge of a growth to happen, that can't just come from drama.
Yeah.
You have to have substance behind it.
Like everybody normally has a break when they're like, you know, every big YouTuber had a break at some point. Like they had something that blew them up in a way. But nowadays, like back then, it used to be because a video got trending.
Yeah.
But now it's because you had drama or something happened that got people interested kind of thing.
Yeah. You know, I kind of feel like that provokes an aspect of, you know, in the commentary community where people will unnecessarily start drama with a larger YouTuber just for the sake of like throwing themselves under the bus so that way the larger audience will have someone new to grasp onto.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really even blame them with how YouTube is now.
Yeah, that's the business of it. It's a weird, dirty business.
But like my thing is I feel like if you don't, I don't know, if it's not directly affecting you in any way, I feel like it's just like poisons up your community slightly. Like if it doesn't like directly affect you, if it's not something that's like personally related to you or something, and you're just like causing
exactly when it's uncalled for.
Yeah, when it's uncalled for, I feel like it just I don't know. Like Keemstar personally called me a self-righteous cunt because I say that I don't want to talk about drama in my videos unless it directly affects me. Yeah. If you don't talk about it, you're a bitch who is self-righteous and pretentious, and if you talk about it, you're an asshole. Like there's no winning when it comes to.
Well, I don't know. I feel like even if you aren't directly involved, you can still add conversation, and as long as you do it the right way, I don't think there's that much wrong with it. I'm saying this, obviously I'm biased because I made videos on Rice Gum and Onision, and I never spoken with them. Right. But at the same time, like, I made those videos because I saw things that I didn't see circulating.
That's critiquing, though. I'm talking about like vendettas, like you want that person to burn kind of situation.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I think what Onision's doing is almost even worse than than
Oh,
like
God,
these
yeah.
drama baiters. Like putting your entire personal life out in the open like that is kind of
That's just fucked.
it's
He's a
like
fucking
so weird.
messed up guy.
You don't see anyone doing that.
He knows, all he knows is that his family life is fine and that December's paycheck is going to be larger than, say, November's. And that's all that matters to him. He doesn't care about being liked by anybody. Because if he did, he would have friends, but he doesn't have friends. And when you don't have anybody in your life, when everybody's walked away, when everybody in your life is the problem, then you have to ask yourself, well, maybe I'm the unlikable person. Maybe everyone else isn't the unlikable people.
But
you know?
I don't think he'll ever ask himself that question.
Exactly.
He's really
And
good
that's
at dishing out criticism constantly, but it seems like he's never ever looking in a mirror at him. Like, you know what I mean? He's never looking at himself critically, and it's weird.
Yeah, he had some horrible logic that he applied towards my girlfriend. I'm gonna see if I can look it up real quick. He had mentioned how, let's see, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up. If you look like a prostitute and someone says you look like a prostitute, you are literally wrong for getting upset. If it's true, it's true. And I'm thinking about how many situations that logic could be applied to.
Yeah,
which it would be incorrect. I mean, imagine if you applied that. If you look like a doctor and someone says you look like a doctor, then you're wrong for saying, I'm not a doctor and I'm not qualified to take care of this situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's true, it's true.
I'm really confused by that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is he retarded?
Yes.
Like, I mean, you got to think about people's representations of prostitutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so many, like that's not even, he's fucking retarded.
That is
God
a retarded
damn.
situation.
To play devil's advocate, I'm gonna really reach and try to I'm gonna try to reach for what he's going for here, and I can almost see it. Almost. The argument he's trying to make is that you can't disagree with someone else's opinion on you. So if someone says that they believe that you look like a prostitute, saying that no, I don't look like a prostitute isn't a valid counter because you're disagreeing with an opinion. I think maybe that's what he's going for.
Okay.
I'm really digging.
I feel like that would be fair enough if he lived by that. If he lived by that logic,
Yes.
But that logic doesn't even apply to him.
No, it does not. But that's where I think that's the point he was trying to make. He did it completely wrong, and it still doesn't really work. But because I don't think he's literally meaning you can't say I am not a prostitute, because obviously you can if that's objectively true. But I think he's trying to say don't get mad at other people's opinions, but that's fucking stupid because he does it all the time. Like, that's an offensive statement. But not to discredit, like, if you're not a prostitute and you say I'm not one or I don't look like one and you're offended by that, then you have every fucking right to be offended by that.
It's very kind of you to try and, to have, at least he had somebody that was trying to understand where he was coming from.
I'm trying. That's because I will admit, I kind of, in the weirdest way, Seer, I envy you for knowing him, because I have found Onision to be one of the most fascinating people on the internet for years. And there's this small part of me that wishes I knew him personally, just so I could get like that much better of a look into the dude. Because he is fascinating. Whether you like him or not, it's pretty much impossible to argue that he's not an interesting man.
Like, if
the way he goes
were to
about
kill,
himself.
if he were to kill someone tomorrow and it came out in the news, I wouldn't even be that surprised. I'd be like, oh, well,
no.
Okay.
No.
Well, okay, so this is where I'd want to hear it. Seer, would you be surprised by that?
Yes. Okay, well, here's the thing. If the Onision now, I don't think he would ever kill somebody, because he is the most unviolent person. And the reason why is because he is so black and white that he is, everything to him is by definition, everything to him is by law. So as long as it's legal, and as long as it, something is the defined version, here's the definition of what pedophile really is, and this is why I am not that. And I have not done anything illegal, therefore I am not, you should not be mad at me. But that's why I don't think. But if he had snapped, I wouldn't be surprised if he snapped. But
I still think his morality's fucked. Like, you hear about that little girl forum thing that he has?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He justifies what he does because it is not illegal. But bro, that doesn't mean that it's not fucking creepy. You can be a creepy ass bastard sitting there at the park as a 31-year-old watching teenagers hang out, underneath the bleachers, raiding them, staring at them. And yeah, that might be legal, but that's still fucking creepy. It's called being accepted into society, not being a fucking weirdo.
He is a
There's
weirdo.
There's a difference between morality and legality.
Oh my God. On the scale of normal to weird, he's like past weird. He's
Dude,
whack.
The weirdest part is just how he tries to justify all of his actions by like, oh, this is legal. When it gets to the point to where, I don't think he's done this, but he would do this. When it gets to the point to where you have to show people the definition of pedophile and why I'm not that's fuck. You know what I mean? He does it. He justifies his actions by providing definitions, and that's such a fucking robotic thing to do. He provokes human emotions. Human responses like a fucking robot. And who's the closest thing to a robot that's human? A sociopath. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying he's a sociopath because I sound like a conspiracy theorist, and maybe he's not.
He's pretty close.
He's just fucking whack.
If you were to do armchair psychology on him and you came to the conclusion that he's a sociopath, I don't think too many people would be in disbelief.
Yeah, we wouldn't be surprised.
You can't diagnose him from a chair, but if it came out tomorrow that he was like, oh, I was diagnosed with, I can't remember the technical term for sociopathy, antisocial personality disorder, I think.
Yeah.
If he were to say that he had that, I don't think a single person would be floored at all. I think everyone would be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
I feel like I would appreciate him if one time in his life he admitted that he was wrong.
Yes.
But it always seems like he finds an excuse for something that he does.
I have to argue that to a degree. I maybe he doesn't mean it, but I've seen him numerous times in videos apologize when he's fucked
but
up.
when he does it, it almost seems like he doesn't mean it. Like he'll.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do this. I'm sorry.
But he doesn't. It doesn't come from his heart, if he even has one. It's more like
he doesn't actually feel apologetic.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell when someone's when they feel bad for doing something. Like when he made those tweets about Christina Grimmie. He made a video and he kind of apologized for it. But at the same time, in the same video, he was saying shit about how what he was saying was still accurate and he was still defending his points and what.
Well, I feel like
if he
apologizes, I feel like it's because of a business tactic or because he feels like he'll lose subscribers.
It is emulated like a robot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry that you humans were incapable of living up to my emotionless standard.
Yeah. He's just apologizing just to keep up, appearances and be like, don't unsubscribe for me. I need the views.
We have an interesting opportunity here, though, because you, Seer, didn't you at one point live with him?
Yeah, we had lived together a couple times. I mean, I had stayed with him. We had lived in the same place in LA before.
Yeah, so if anybody has an inside look on the guy, it would be you. I mean, if we were to talk with anyone else, I mean, obviously you guys have been having beef recently, but I mean, you kind of have an inside look on the type of dude he is. So if anyone's going to listen to anybody about like what the type of person he is, I mean, should listen to you, I feel like. So I mean, since you lived with him, can you give us a little bit of like insight into his brain, into like how he operates?
Okay, well, he's in person. He's easy to get along with. I mean, nobody's really had.
I honestly bet he's like an okay guy to be around. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, like
it seems like he is.
We played video games. We talked shit to each other, like basic banter and stuff like that. We talk about video ideas. I mean, as far as living with him, there was nothing bad. I mean, okay, let me tell you of a weird, awkward situation. So, I had my best friend Stefan, and we grew up in Hawaii. We used to like fight, fuck around and wrestle and shit like that. And sometimes we would just be wrestling just because that's what we used to do. And Onision would always he came in the room and was like, don't do that in front of me. And we had like an hour-long argument of he was convinced that Stefan and I were gay. because we were wrestling. He's like, why would you be doing that
Really?
if you weren't gay? And he was 100% convinced. And the only way we got him to be quiet was because Stefan is Asian, and Onision's logic was, oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I was stationed in Korea, and men were very touchy amongst men, so I guess it's not gay. And I was like,
That's so weird because I would assume that he would be really like accepting towards that kind of thing, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, it was just so bizarre, and it was so awkward, and I didn't know why I was getting in that. I don't even know why I was defending that in the first place.
That's so weird.
And then for him to use that against you in his diss track, or I wouldn't even call it a diss track, his really sloppy, shitty song that he made.
Whatever that was.
I mean, I thought that was like a low blow, especially from hearing from what you said. Yeah.
Since when were gay jokes funny? You know, when it wasn't 1998. You know.
I know.
Yeah.
It was obviously more of just like a pot shot at you than a joke, but
it was like his song can be summed up in "you're fat and gay and your girlfriend's a Russian prostitute." You know what I mean? Like how high school meathead is that?
Oh, I know, dude. His sense of humor drives me insane. It's like hard for me to think that he has fans that legitimately watch and laugh and enjoy his content. You know. It's just, I mean, it's obviously just not for me, obviously, but like at the same time, it just seems it's just obnoxious, at least to me.
Yeah, I think his audience are just very impressionable people, I think. And yeah, I don't know, like maybe the kind of people that'd be like into Insane Clown Posse. And, you know, I can't like deny the fact that like I enjoyed lots of the stuff we made together because he was completely willing to do anything in a video for like the fucking meme of it. And I enjoyed a lot of the stuff we did together, especially on my channel. And we had a lot of creative differences. But like I'm working on like the 2016 like worst of Vincent Sear montage, which is like, you know, the best of, but I'm calling it the worst.
Yeah.
Because I don't suck my own dick. But and I'm gonna cut out a bunch of stuff that he was in, you know, for the sake of not being maintaining consistency.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good stuff in there that I laugh at, and so I mean, like I can't deny that. I have to respect the fact that I worked with him and I was friends with him, and you know, for me to deny that is I would be hypocritical. But
which sucks because
how much
I feel
can
like
you
he's never going to give you
like
the
that?
same respect. You know? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny because. Sorry, go ahead.
What I don't respect was the fact that he is just so black and white and was willing. He's acting like I ended the friendship, but this is like about maybe the fourth or fifth time he's ended his friendship with me over something petty. And like everybody thought that I voted for Donald Trump. He was like, you're basically voting for Trump. And then everybody thought I was voting for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump.
Was so stupid.
I live in California. It's a blue state. I voted for state issues because I know that would affect the state. I didn't vote for the two-party system because I had the luxury of doing that in my state. I knew that Donald Trump would not win in the state of California. And he was just like, you're why Trump won. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I voted for state issues. Hillary was going to win California anyway. Study the fucking electoral system.
Wow.
Well, wasn't the tweet that even this was like the catalyst was you saying it was something like a vote for the lesser of two evils is still a vote for evil or something like that?
Yeah.
I think that was the tweet.
Yeah.
And that collection of less than 140 characters caused him to end this.
Yeah. He unfolded me, and I was like, you know what? If this is the kind of person this is, because nobody else in my life had a problem with that tweet, then why are you going to let all of these years accumulate to this being the end? Like, and out of all the times where he had ended our friendship and trashed me on the internet, I was always quiet because I always thought that was being the better person. But this was the one time that I stood up for myself. And you know, the video that I used made against him, I shot in about 15 minutes. Like that was so small and easy to use. And I used public information against him. I didn't use the information against him when I was with him during his first divorce and the way that he treated his first wife, which Like, I'm not going to speak about that in the podcast because, of course, like, I would need to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. But, you know, I have so many stories of the way he is that I'm not going to use against him because I'm not that kind of person. That's not my content, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I use public information because it's accessible and everybody sees it for what it is. Everybody sees the smash or pass, you know? Everybody sees his you know, body judgment videos.
And I really respect you for making that choice, because I know for a fact that Onision would not give you the same, you know, like he would, in an instant, he would spill anything that he had on someone, I feel. And, you know, anything that happens in his private life happens in his social media, you know, so stupid.
Yeah. All that he's got on me is the fact that, yeah, I was broke, and I'm not rich, but I was broke for the majority of the last 9 years that I've lived out in Los Angeles, and he had helped me out in those years. And if I learned anything, it's don't receive help from an asshole, because if I knew that he was going to be this way, I wouldn't have received help. And, you know, I just want to get rich now so I can pay him back so he can not talk about that anymore, because I guess that's how friendship works in his eyes. I would never do that to anybody. I would never hold that up to anybody's head. And yeah, that sucks. And, you know, he has so much against, that's all he has on me. He doesn't have anything else. Like, he has nothing else on me that he can use against me. But we have endless amounts of information that we can use against his character, and I have endless amounts of information that I can use on his personal life. And it's just about whether or not, when you choose to stop monetizing your life off of drama, because when I start doing that, then I just become him.
Yeah, I mean, there is something to be said for you deciding not to. I mean, even with an open outlet like this podcast, which won't get that many views, you know, it's not like saying something on here is going to end anything, but I mean, even still, you're still withholding information that you feel would be wrong to say, you know, just even with like all the shit that would happen between you, which is pretty cool, I think. So good on you, man.
I think I try to go by, like, if you can't articulate the thought 100%, just don't say it, because the last thing you want is a soundbite of yourself saying something 50% right, because then your integrity of what you say goes down.
Yeah, they'll take a few parts of it and, like, you know, twist it.
People are gonna do that shit no matter what, though, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta, like, you know, like reread it like 1,500 times and be like, okay, well, they could twist this around and make it like this, and like that's what a lot of people tend to not do. Like, say in Nick's video about Leafy, like, so many people twisted so many things that he said into different things because, you know, he just was in front of a camera and just talked. He didn't really, you know, write anything down.
And with a video that long, it's just, there's so much content to use against somebody, you know? Drama is endless, because when has somebody made, I mean, maybe aside from like iDubbbz, who has been the final chapter of drama? You know what I mean? Who has made the video that's just been like, oh, well, everybody agrees with this person and that's over. I guess that one issue
that's
was...
what I think is hilarious, because like when like 5 different people made videos on Keemstar. Well, I mean, Pyrocynical, his goal wasn't actually to kick him off the internet, but I mean, like, Leafy and Grade were trying to kick him off the internet. I think iDubbbz just didn't like him. I don't think he was trying to get him off the internet, but those two were like, their goal was to shut him down. And it's just like, he's still here. I mean, he's still doing fine.
It's kind of ironic too, because now Leafy is like way worse than he was.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just, I just feel like it's just stupid.
Yeah. Why do you guys think that Leafy was so why do you think Keemstar has continued on getting the same kind of viewership that he always has, but Leafy about 70, you know, maybe like 60% of his viewership was lost? Why do you think that happened?
Yeah, it is weird because iDubbbz made a video on both, you know?
I think it's because Keemstar is entertaining. I mean, even though I have a disdain for him, and a lot of people do, there's parts of him that are actually entertaining. But Leafy, I don't know why it took someone to make a video about him to realize it, but he's really not entertaining. He's just cut and dry, really boring, same jokes over and over.
They actually said this on the new Baited, and I think it made a lot of sense. That Leafy doesn't bring anything new to the table with every new video he brings out. They're pretty much all exactly carbon copies of the same thing.
They're the same thing. And he makes the same jokes, it's just like painful.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't have, I mean, you might say that he has variety because he talks about different subjects, but he talks about them all in the same way. You know, like they're all pretty much the same video. So it gets old, you know?
And the thing is, though, you cannot, and there have been some people who've tried to claim this, and it's straight up bullshit. You cannot pretend that Leafy's decline would have happened without iDubbbz's video.
Oh, well, yeah.
It would, and like, because the thing with it is that everyone will be like, oh, but people are still unsubscribing from him. Yes, true. But iDubbbz's video was the one that made people realize his content was repetitive.
Which is stupid.
And Nick's video was the one that made people realize he's a bit of a questionable person. I don't think Leafy's the massive scumbag a lot of people have made him out to be at all. In my personal opinion, I think he's lazy. Yes.
Yeah, he's not like a terrible person, but he's in all of our experience with him, he's a fucking
like
lazy.
like a conscious antagonist, basically. You know what I mean? Like a villain that's out to get everybody.
Yeah, I would never call him personally a bad person. I really don't think so. Every experience I've had with him has been mostly fine. He's just a bit lazy and a bit dumb. And
he's forgetful too.
And so, but the thing with it is that now it happened to hit the right person, I think, because if Keemstar's on the decline, as everyone saw, Keemstar puts in the maximum amount of effort to get back on the rise again. That's why Baited existed, was because he wanted to ride off the goodwill of Clown. That's just like a fact. You can't even argue that. Even if Keem claims it's not true, it is.
And he will claim it's not true.
Right. But whether he did that intentionally or not, that's what he did. And that's fine, and now it's backfiring on him again. And then he's going to try it with this Baited podcast, new crew, probably won't work, and he'll think of something else. Leafy doesn't care.
He will...
Yeah.
Leafy is literally indifferent, and not Leafy literally. He is indifferent to the fact that his channel's on the decline because it is still doing comparably really, really fucking well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not doing as good, but it's doing decent.
Yeah, he went from like getting...
He's still pulling over 10 mil views a month. That's not pocket change.
Yeah. He's still making lots of money.
So it's like, yeah, he's not making, $250,000 a month anymore, but he was for several months, and now he's still making tens of thousands. He's gonna be fine.
I feel like he's just saving up because, like, his setup is so shitty. Like, he doesn't get a good camera. His microphone's still the same. What is he doing with his money?
He did upgrade his microphone, but he doesn't. It's not even that he doesn't get a good camera. He doesn't get a camera. He has a webcam still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand what that was all about. Like, the moment that I ever make a significant amount of money, I think about what I can upgrade.
Yeah,
exactly.
Same here. I think about what I can, add to make my videos better.
Yeah, the thing with Leafy is he doesn't evolve at all. He's the same person he was a year ago, and he makes the same exact shit. I mean, he might have changed it's like something here and there, like little moving characters or whatever. But granted, other people did some of that shit for him. But he doesn't really change. It's mostly just like the same shit over and over.
Do you know how old he is?
I think he's 21 or 22.
Yeah.
He's probably 21 now.
He's a little bit older than me. I'm pretty sure he's 21.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're in the same
I thought
ballpark.
he was 20 last time we talked to him.
But, he had his 21st birthday not too long ago.
Yeah.
I remember because he was telling me he was going to go to Vegas, and then he couldn't for some reason.
Right. Well, for some people, their ability to adapt and change comes with the amount of life experience that they've had. And if he's somebody who's always been successful in his life, like ever since, if he's a kid who's never had to have, financial troubles in his life, maybe he doesn't have that urge of adapt and survive to a situation like someone like Keemstar, for example, would have, or people like us, where we've had moments where we're like, oh shit, need to learn to change shit up. Because when you're always making money since day one, since you were living with your parents, I don't know if that was his situation, you don't really have an adapting skill.
Well, he only recently moved out of his parents' place a couple months ago.
Yeah, he's been with his parents this whole time.
As soon as you hit that point, I feel like for him anyway, as soon as he hit that point where he was gaining so much momentum so fast that he was like, well, if it's not broken, don't change it. I'm just going to do this shit forever. And I mean, I think that mentality is biting him in the ass right now.
Because I mean, I feel like if you continue like if you don't have any will to change any or the talent to change it all, you'll eventually just fade away.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's always going to have something. He's always going to have some sort of audience.
Well, he'll have something, but he'll definitely fade.
Yeah.
This is something that I actually, weirdly enough, think that I can give points to Onision for. Because whether or not you enjoy his content, he does frequently mix up his presentation of it.
And
like
he stays relevant.
Right. Like he has 3 different channels, which I'm pretty sure 2 upload every day, if I'm not mistaken.
Holy fuck.
That's already fucking mad.
No, let me tell you what about living with him, his working habits. He's a robot. He actually is. Like he will just. Have you ever seen the movie have you ever seen the movie Nightcrawler? He's like that.
Yeah.
God,
his brain
like
shuts
that.
off.
No, I can see that comparison.
Yeah, he's like that. Like if I had mentioned a video idea, that is completely like unpolished. I was like, oh, it'd be funny this, blah. And he'd be like, let's film it right now. He'd literally grab the camera and just like start filming.
I wish I was like that.
And then like
but I also don't.
He goes straight into editing after that.
Huh.
And he doesn't shut off. He's just like boom, boom, boom. Need to do this, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, damn, it is like it's so robotic.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
That makes his variety even more surprising then, because I remember there was a point on his channel where he went from like wearing those weird masks, and then he was doing drawings, and then he was like doing ASMR with musical intros, and then like all this random shit. Like his style of presentation seems to change like every month almost, and yet he could just keep pumping this out. That makes more sense, but that's fucking crazy.
It's kind of creepy.
Wow.
Do you think he would kill someone for his career, like in Nightcrawler?
You're so obsessed with him killing someone.
I think he would though. Like I feel like if I was in the way and it was between my life or his career, he would kill me. No joke.
Elvis the alien just really wants to read that headline. YouTube star Onision takes a life.
That's his dream.
God damn it.
God damn.
They would definitely have an endless amount of photos of him to like verify the fact of, oh, I'm not surprised he killed somebody.
Yeah.
True.
You know, that a lot of psycho face shots with like blood on them.
He makes some really questionable videos, and I feel like sometimes when I'll go to his channel every once in a while just to see what he's been doing, and like his shit is just it's so weird. Like the variety, like you said, Ed, is just so out there. Like he made the potato song. He made like fucking, I don't know. It's just, he made that video where he was sucking Leafy's dick virtually. So weird.
You can even go way back to the fucking I'm a Banana song, which ended up getting him on like Tosh.0 and shit. Like he's been doing really fucking bizarre things for ages. Yeah. And for some reason, it keeps working.
It's the example of like throw 100 darts at the dartboard, and like, you know, maybe 3 will hit the bullseye, and then a couple will hit in the points outside the bullseye.
But you have to give him credit. He works his ass off. But But I think that's just his character. You know, he just has to keep working. Is he a workaholic here?
Yeah,
well,
I would say.
Yeah.
If it's
like
cold,
that's where he gets
sick,
like that.
Yeah, that's his. That is his, like, he values that over, I think, anything in his life.
That's crazy. I mean, it obviously shows, but you'd think that he would care more about people liking him than I don't know. I mean, that's obviously different, but.
Well, some people are just like that. They just don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've said it before. I think his logic is, like, why need friends when I have my family? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's how he is. Like, as long as he has his work and as long as he has his family, he's like the survivor in that aspect. You know what I mean?
It's just so weird because I feel like for me personally, I know I'm drastically different, but I would not be able to survive like that. You know, I wouldn't be happy like that. You know, knowing that the community overall just dislikes me, and that even though I am pulling some good numbers, I wouldn't be satisfied. You know, I want to be respected at least a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. He's never expressed interest in craving that.
So weird.
That's why I think it's funny, because Keemstar always puts on the concept that, like, he doesn't care what people think, but he like really, really does. And it's just like I don't know why that would be okay with someone. It's just to be very hated by a lot of people. It's just,
that's
crazy.
what I hear from a lot of people who have seemed to talk to him or know him. But I've never talked to him personally, except for in
Can
DMs.
you think of any other YouTuber that's like that, where they just really just don't give a fuck that people dislike them, and where people are actively disliking them?
Probably the guy who does the hot knife videos.
Yeah, he probably doesn't give a fuck.
You got him.
He's like, talk shit, I'm going to keep cutting stuff.
Yeah, it's like, let me just make a video in 5 minutes.
Hey, fuck anybody who hates on those videos, because I find them satisfying to watch, and if he's making a killing doing that shit,
No,
I don't
like,
see anything
like
wrong with it. And I actually like,
was it the press thingy, like where he
Hydraulic press channel?
the hydraulic press.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
cares? Like people just find those little like things that people enjoy looking at.
I'm part of that. I'm part of those views. I loved watch. I went through and watched all of the hydraulic press videos.
That's why I think it's funny that people complain about it, because it's just like, well, some people just find those little things that people enjoy looking at, and then just you know
You know what I
there's
think it
nothing
is.
wrong with it aside from the fact that it's getting views. That's what I
Yeah,
don't understand.
exactly.
It's like,
Weird.
it's
I
just jealousy.
I need to counter this a bit. I'm
Oh,
not even
no.
playing devil's advocate. I think no.
I feel
fucking
like that's what
fucking
always,
Ed
like,
from
I
left
just like we're
field.
talking about something and then he's quiet and then you just randomly hear, guys, I need to counter this.
It's because I completely disagree. I think that the argument you just made for hot knife videos and hydraulic press videos can be applied to literally any form of video that any of us have ever criticized in human history.
Yeah,
so,
that's
'cause
true.
think about
I
it.
mean-
People shouldn't criticize the hot knife videos because some enjoy them, and yet criticizing
No, that's
toy
that's
channels.
Not what I mean.
It's what it sounded like.
The videos aren't hurting people. That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's okay. If your minimum threshold for something being acceptable is it doesn't cause physical harm, that's kind of shitty. Because like, okay,
it's
so
just,
think
it's
back.
just a stupid thing to hate. You know,
Stop
like
interrupting me, you cunts. Let me finish my point.
Sorry.
My point, because I have a point. I'm getting to it. Just give me a minute. So you can think back to food review channels, which Elvis, you've talked about. You can think to reality shows with Pig, you've talked about. You can think to fucking Call of Duty retarded videos, which I've talked about. You can think of fucking Twitter memes that Sears talked about. All of these things are entertaining to large quantities of people. You can go to the fucking weird jelly videos where they make like jelly soda cans or whatever the fuck, the toy channel videos, all those.
Fuck yeah.
These are all things that get slaughtered all the time, but the one time it's something you enjoy, the hot knife thing, you're defending it. And I find that really, really hypocritical, to be completely honest with you.
All right. The thing is, when I'm making videos like on those food review channels or whatever, it's all jokes. Like, I don't think they're hurting people. Like, if I'm making a video on, let's say,
keep
rice
saying
gum or
hurting
Onision, like,
people.
I just think that they're doing something wrong. Like, I'm actually criticizing.
See, I never found a problem with any channels like that because I get it. Like, for example, the toy review channels. Like, the reason like they're funny and people make videos on them, I think it's just because to us like older people, it's funny as shit and they sound retarded and it's hilarious. Like those gummy things too. Like, it's really stupid, but the only reason it's just like I'm not mad about it is because I get it. I get why they have a lot of views. And like Ed, when you were over at my house and we were looking at the kid stuff, like that truck thing, I started making a video on it, but it was just like it was hard to do something about it because I get it. I get why it has so many views. And same with like the knife thing, same with like what was the hydraulic press thing, same with all that shit because I get it. But rice gum, I don't get. Like people like that, I don't get.
If you're gonna
How
make
can
fun,
you
if
not
you're gonna
get
make fun of
that?
a rape victim, that's a little bit more. That's a little bit different, you know.
That aside, and you have to bear in mind, and I realize putting that aside is maybe a little bit ignorant, but keep in mind, 99% of the people who watch Rice Gum have not seen that clip. But watching
I'm not saying the reason people,
but no,
like,
but so you can look me in the face and say that you watch Rice Gum videos and don't understand how he got popular off of kids. Really, I find
I
that
think
very
we all know
difficult
why
to
he
believe.
got popular. Yeah.
I find it very difficult to believe that you don't understand that.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying it I guess it makes me mad because I don't know. It's entertainment.
Do you see where I'm finding fault with this point?
Listen. The toy things, they're specifically for kids and parents watch them so, they could figure out the toy shit or whatever. The glowing knife thing, it's because people find it's something simple, it's satisfactory. It's these things aren't like for entertainment is what I'm saying. It's just for satisfaction or for to
Yeah, well, it's for me alone in the bathroom with a tub of Vaseline.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. To me, it's because it's a personality that I don't get. Okay,
what's the difference between satisfaction and entertainment, though?
I don't know. It's
they're basically synonyms.
It seems different to me. Okay, it might not seem different to you, but it seems different to me.
Do you at least see where my issues coming in?
I get where you're coming from, but
okay.
I don't know. It just seems different to me. I don't know why, but it does.
Right.
Well, as a casual viewer, allow me to explain why I enjoy them. I enjoy them because I don't have access to a hydraulic press or knives of 1,000 degrees. But if I did, and if lots of us did, we would probably do those same things. But we can't.
Yeah, we don't have the luxury of cutting up shit, because we have because we can't afford it.
I made a video about people breaking technology before. The only reason I was mad about it is because they have so much money and all they do is break technology. But at the same time, I get why people watch it.
Yeah,
but okay, so I want to rewind then.
God damn it! Just ignore it. Ignore it. It's over.
I'm not ignoring it because I have one more quick question, and this should be easy to answer. And I'm sorry that I'm focusing on you, Elvis, but one of the things you said stuck out to me a little bit ago. You said for like food reviews and shit that it's all jokes and everything. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, would you make a video on hot knife videos? Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, he did.
Okay, then did you?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't see it yet. I'm sorry. I haven't been on the internet for the last I haven't been on the internet for the last 2 days. I'm sick. Okay, then that's fair enough. I honestly didn't know that. So that is fair enough.
It wasn't directly on those videos, but yeah, it had a portion of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've yet to see that. I apologize, but
it wasn't even criticizing it. It was just him cutting through something.
Yeah, it was just it was like kind of like a parody, like a mocking of it. But yeah.
Okay, then that's perfectly fair. That makes it valid. That's fine enough.
I'm glad we got to talk about the hot knife.
That's the important thing.
That's what I'm
the thing is, I haven't actually seen them.
You haven't? Dude, you should.
They're awesome.
I've seen like 90 videos talking about them, and I've yet to watch any of those either, which is probably why I didn't even realize it was your video, because I just saw the 1,000 degree in the title and didn't click it.
It's so weird how like watching something like that can... It's like almost mesmerizing. I can't even explain it. Like just watching someone like, cut something.
It's like that video that's like called the most satisfying video in the world, where it's just a bunch of random shit, but it just satisfies you.
Yeah.
I know entertainment and satisfaction are one and the same, but it just seems different. I don't know why.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Different.
Like someone's doing stand-up comedy versus someone like, I don't know, like cutting something. Like it's different,
Yeah. What kind of serial killer like goes through the internet and finds those satisfying moments and like sits there and like compose and like cuts them together?
Yeah, I know.
And
they just go throughout the internet and just look up satisfying videos and just splice them all together.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember that one video.
If you're making thousands upon thousands of dollars, you would do it.
You paint that fucking wall and pop those bubbles. Pop those fucking bubbles.
Jesus
okay, we
Christ.
have to admit though, the 1,000 degree knife thumbnails are fucking hilarious.
Yes,
I know.
It's like they just painted red on the knife.
They did. They just paint red on the knife.
They do hilarious. Look really, really funny. I can admit
it's funny
that.
how
they're like humans are fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like making fun of people almost, Like, oh, you guys really love this really shitty ping image of a like almost like a vibrant bread on this
It's
knife.
not even vibrant. It's just solid neon red. It's just
like the most matte coloring ever.
MS Paint, like someone just put paint on it.
Use paint bucket on the fucking...
All right, let me come out and admit it. I am the hot knife man.
Oh, no.
There you go, guys.
You're Mr. Gear.
Fucking knew it. You're Mr. Gear.
Dude, can you give us
Mr.
$1 million
Gear.
each? You know you got it.
Yeah.
Are you
making
also
like 20 million views a video?
Are you also Run from the Cube?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Damn.
And How to
Wait,
Basic.
are you How to Basic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
here
God
you go.
damn it.
Well, the thing is, now
Face reveal.
I feel obliged to side with Onision because you've been lying about being broke this whole time.
Oh, you son of a
think-
bitch.
Oh,
Got him.
Got him.
you caught me, boys. I'm fucking off now.
This podcast will never be released because he's never going to give us his file now.
Fuck.
Lawyer up, bitch.
I've always wondered that, like if like someone said something like accidental on our podcast, if they just wouldn't give us their file.
I thought for sure Keemstar wouldn't send his
Oh
over.
yeah, I know. I thought he was just gonna fuck with us and do the podcast and then just not give us his file.
Yeah, I was genuinely shocked when he actually uploaded it.
Then just send
Yeah.
us then sends us like a text like baited over Discord.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
what we thought
you.
he was gonna do. He likes all of us except me.
No, he doesn't like me anymore.
Really?
No, he hates me.
Oh,
I'm pretty
really?
sure he hates Elvis too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The only reason he liked Elvis at all was because he removed his Keemstar video, and that's
Yeah.
it.
And he did that video on Leafy, but then when he removed that video, Keems
he got mad
all
again.
pissy.
He's like, all bets are off now that you're like, fuck you.
He hates me because I keep calling him out on Twitter every time he unblocks me. It's like within a day I'll mention him and I'm blocked again.
How does Keemstar feel
I
about you,
still have
Seer?
DMs open with him. What'd you say?
I said, how does Keemstar feel about you, Seer?
Dude, I have no idea. He follows me and like he doesn't really.
Oh no, he calls you CYR, so
Oh yeah, CYR.
Yeah, and then like occasionally he'll do news that is like 100% incorrect. Like I don't get it. And like I tried DMing him a little bit, and he's so weird to talk to because he's just like, I need you to be a little bit more clear with your question, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
all right. I feel like I'm talking to a guy with a hearing aid right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no nice way to put this, but it feels like you're talking to someone with autism sometimes.
Yeah.
Specifically,
Yeah. Can you speak
specifically
louder,
in text.
please? I don't
Yeah,
hear.
I want to clarify it's specifically in text. When speaking to him, it doesn't feel like that at all. But the way that he types and everything is really fucking. It's just really off.
Well, I would disagree because
You would think it sounded like talking to someone with autism.
yes, because every time you ask him a question, he's just fucking like if he doesn't want to answer it, he will just completely change the subject and just nonchalantly just start talking about something else. Or like one time he said, Pig, that doesn't make any sense, and it just kept fucking going to me because I asked him a question, and it's hilarious. Because if he doesn't want something to answer something, he will figure out a way to get out of it.
fucking Keemstar. We can't go one podcast without talking about this guy.
No, we've gone like
we
three
haven't
without
talked about him in
talking
a long time, more than 3.
Really?
It's been a long.
It's been a while, yeah. Unless we
Yeah.
mentioned him in like complete passing, very very briefly. We didn't talk about him at all the last few episodes for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and definitely not the Star Wars one. It's just weird. Like it seems to me, at least 50% of the time we're talking about Keemstar. It's like he's always popping up for whatever reason. He's like he won't go away.
But I mean, we're coming to a close. You guys want to talk about anything else before we go?
So Seer, what would you rate your Onision 1 to 10?
What
like
the
his content?
fuck question? Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck kind
okay.
of question is that?
His content?
Like is it like you thought I meant like attraction?
Yeah, or like as a person.
How would you rate his hot vegan body?
his hot vegetarian body.
Oh, is it vegetarian?
Yeah, Onision, totally fuckable, 10 out of 10. But yeah, his content, I don't know. I have to respect the success of it. And so, I mean, if you're incorporating that into the rating,
3 then.
I mean, yeah, that's a solid 3. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. If I had to give him an unbiased judgment based off of success and the ability to adapt, I would say a solid 6 out of 7. I mean, I feel like that's an unarguable amount without being seer about it and being
Wait, what?
oh, well, he's cunty, so 2.
Wait, hold on.
6 out of 7?
Did you mean 6 or 7?
Yeah, 6 or 7 out of 10.
Okay, you said 6 out of
6
7.
out of 7.
Which I was about to ask you about why you use the weirdest rating system in the face of the
Probably
earth.
6 out of 7.3 repeated.
It's kind of like I made fun of the report of the week guy. He's the food review dude who always wears suits, and he rated, I forget, like chicken nuggets or something, like something super bland, and he rated it like a 7.9 out of 10. He's so random.
That's so funny.
I fucking love that guy.
I know, I do too, and I get so much backlash from that video I made, but I just can't take it down. I love it.
Yeah. It's a good video. It's just because everyone takes you completely seriously.
Dude, his audience is hardcore, dude. Like, do not make fun of this kid. They will come at you with pitchforks.
I've noticed that. My God, they will attack. Jesus Christ.
Well, I have a question. This has been my first podcast, and it's been a very good experience. How out of 10, how do you guys think I did on this podcast?
I think you were a solid 9, my man. The only reason
Really?
the only thing that subtracted the 10 was that we
well.
didn't let you talk that much. Well, we did, and then we didn't.
Yeah,
we were inconsistent with helping you like get integrated.
We tend to do this thing where we don't plan and we just kind of like talk about whatever happens.
I'm gonna give you an 8 out of 10 because it took you so long to get on here.
Oh no.
Yep, thank you for
Oh,
that.
that's
true.
My
That's
problem
fair.
is I enjoy listening so much that like I forget to talk sometimes. I'm just like listening to the conversation and I forget that I'm in the podcast. I'm like, I'm listening to a podcast right now.
Yeah, I get like that sometimes too, and then like I'll just be like, oh shit, it's been like 15 minutes, I haven't said a word.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I've done that before where like three people were talking and I'm just sitting back for a while and just chilling, looking at Twitter. And I'm like,
It's weird because Ed
I'm supposed to
did
talk.
that in this particular one. In this particular episode, I feel like Zaptide didn't talk that much, which never happens.
I was about to say that.
It's funny, but
Yeah,
it never
happens.
happens. Well, I think it's when we talk about movies that he talks
it's
the
like,
most.
like
I
he
feel
just
like
drones on when it's about a movie or something. But
Drones on is a very accurate description. I very much drone on. I can openly admit to that. I mean, I have 50 minutes worth of videos about the fucking Purge, the first Purge movie. I think that speaks volumes as to how much I drone.
in this particular episode, I remember thinking to myself, I think like 30 minutes ago, you hadn't talked for like 10 minutes or something. I was like, this is so weird.
I was wondering. It's like, is your mic
I know. I was
broken?
like, what the
Like,
fuck
what's
happened to
going
him?
on?
Is he dead?
No, I had my moments, I guess. Maybe when I'm sick, it removes my natural need to be heard by everyone all the time.
I think he was watching Onision videos.
Oh shit!
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it was uh-oh, bro. That's my favorite one. That's the
Put
best
yourself
one.
on mute.
Yeah. Actually, when I was scrolling through Twitter, I saw Anthony Fantano post YouTuber Onision runs creepy forum where young teenage girls post
Yeah, I
photos
mentioned
in
that
their
earlier.
underwear.
It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, that's fucking
Good man
creepy.
Fantano. Proud of him.
Oh,
God
yeah.
damn it.
I think he just put Onision is fucked or something like that.
I was thinking about making a video on that, but it's just not enough. And I've already made one, so
Right.
one of you guys have to do it.
God.
Seer,
I'm
it's all
good.
you.
Hell yeah.
Seer, make another diss
All
track.
right, well, everyone, make sure to subscribe to I Am Seer. Don't subscribe to his other channel, Seer, because he's only on I Am Seer now.
Is that accurate?
but-
Are we saying that right? That's the right
Yeah.
one,
It
right?
is.
Right?
That is accurate. That is accurate. Unless I
Okay,
make something
just wanted
that
to make
is, like,
sure we
super
weren't sending
sketchy.
people wrong.
Make sure to go watch Daddy Issues ASMR featuring Bionic Pig.
Oh yeah. Hey guys.
Hell yeah.
thanks for having me on here. It was a really good first podcast experience, and I'll
Hell yeah,
improve
pop
my
that
skills.
cherry, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever want to come back on, just pop that
Absolutely.
shit.
You
Pop us
guys are
that
fun to talk to.
motherfucking message.
Fuck yes.
Thank you guys so much. Okay, we're done now. Bye.